Hey everyone, in this video we are going to be making a GET request. But just before that, I just wanted to make sure, just to be on the safe side, when creating our username in our database, just one thing that I forgot to mention here. So if you go back to your database here in MongoDB and you go to database access, you click it and the username should be here. But the most important thing is that it should say read write any database. Okay, so as long as it has that, it'll work. I noticed that that if it doesn't, it's because this is not there. So one way to fix that is you just pretty much go to edit here. If yours doesn't say that, you go to edit and then you just scroll down to built-in role under database user privileges. So built-in role, and then you just click the drop down and select read and write to any database, and then you just update the user and you should be good to go there. But just remember that it should say read write any database. Okay, so let's get back to it. So we'll just get back to it. So we are working on routes. Okay, so when working with routes, we have to remember a few things. So we have to remember we are making requests, and the requests are called CRUD. Okay, so they're called CRUD, and let me just put this down here. Every time I type something, it's going to give me some pre-fills there. Okay, perfect. So we have CRUD. So what they stand for is, the C stands for create, the R stands for read, the U stands for update, and the D stands for delete. So if you think of, when thinking of requests, you can think of Twitter, right? You're in your profile and you want to make a tweet. You're going to be posting. So with posting, you're going to be creating or making a post request. Okay. So with the post request that you make, you'll be able to see it, and it's going to be rendered in your profile page or in your profile. So you can see it, which is going to be a GET. You're seeing it because you're making a GET request. Okay, and I think for Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, you have to pay in order to edit tweets. So in order to update, they're making a put request. There's another one called patch request as well, and I might get it wrong as well, but I do know that one is if you want to make changes, like for example, you have values in a field and you want to get the the name, the birthday, and the address of someone, and let's say you mess up on their name and their birthday, so you can make a patch request to update everything pretty much, or you can specify it and just use a put request just for one. So we're just going to be using a put request. Okay, and then you have your delete request. You can delete your tweets just with a click of an X, and it should say, are you sure you want to delete the tweet? And you just click yes, and it'll be deleted. Okay, so let's just take this out here, comment it, and let's get working on our GET request. So this one is going to be our GET tasks. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do here is we are going to use our app, our Express app. So we're going to say app dot get / tasks, and this is where we are going to get our information from. So as you see here, everything our data is going to be stored in our path / tasks. So you see localhost 3000 because that's the port that we're using, / tasks. So everything's going to be, we're going to be getting it from here. So we go back to our code here. So we're using the Express app to get the information that's in the / tasks path, and then in order to do that, we need to use a request and response. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so in here we're going to be using, in this field we're going to be using creating the database that we want. Okay, so once again, it's we're using the Express app to get the data that's here. That's going to be posted pretty much in here in our path. And in order to do so, we're going to use our request. And once we have the database, the data, we're going to respond with something to make it do something. Okay. So continuing with our get request, we simply do const, and we're going to use tasks as plural because we're getting all of the tasks. Okay. And then equals to do, because remember it's the schema that we're using here. Okay, so we're using the to do, and then we're just using dot find, and then open parentheses because we're calling it. So dot find, what we're going to be using, it's a method that we can use in MongoDB to look for anything that's inside of our collections of our database. So to find, it's going to be grouping. When you use to find, it's going to be grouping our database, our collections, the information that's in our collections. Okay. So let's go back to our code. Perfect. So once we have that, then we are going to pass in our tasks, our newly created variable tasks, and then we want it to render in JSON format. Perfect, just like that. Okay, so after that, we want to make sure that there are no errors, so we want to catch any errors. And the same thing, we want to render the errors in JSON format. And if there are any errors, we wanted to say enable to get tasks. Okay. So once again, we're using the Express app to get this info, and the info that's going to be inside of the / tasks path. And in order to do that, we have to request the information, and then we're going to respond with the information to do something with it. And then that information is we're using the variable of tasks, and we're equaling it to our schema, the big schema, like the parent here, which we're putting everything into one basket, remember, which is the to do, just to simplify everything. And then we're finding everything that's in the to do, all of the values that are in the to do, and we want to then take it and just render it. Okay. And then if there are any in JSON format, and then if there are any errors, we want to make sure we catch it and then render it in JSON format as well. And if there are any errors, it'll say unable to get tasks. Okay, so one way we can look this up is using a software called Postman. And Postman is great. That way we can be able to test our API endpoints as well. So one thing I do recommend is downloading the Postman app to your Windows computer or to your Mac. If you use the web Postman version, you might get some errors because what I've noticed is that it won't connect well to your server and show any request to your server. So it's best to just use the app here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this plus sign here, and then we're gonna go to local. I already have it pre-filled out, but it's gonna be http:// localhost 3001 because that's the port, and then this is the path that we're working with. Remember here, / tasks. Okay, and then if it's working, we're gonna see brackets. Pretty much whenever you see brackets with no information, that means you can think of it as we're ready to roll. Anything that's inside of these brackets or that's posted inside of these brackets, we're gonna show you. Okay. And if nothing shows, it's going to show the message unable to get tasks. So let's take a look. Send, and look at that. It shows the brackets here. Perfect. And then you can just double check it here as well. We get the task, and look at that here. We have the brackets. So perfect. Look at that, guys. So we got through the tasks, and that was it. That was pretty much it. Okay. So I'll see you guys in the next video, which we will be focusing on the post. request. All right, see you then.